We're only 3 weeks away from the release of Disney's Snow White live-action bastardization, starring one of the most insufferable people in Hollywood, Rachel Zegler. And despite the fact that they've desperately tried to do damage control over the last couple weeks with their promotional material, talking about how much honor and tribute and love they paid to the original, it isn't working out very well. Still, everything they put out gets completely and totally ratioed because, quite frankly, people have had enough of Disney. They've had enough of Rachel Zegler. They've had enough of this movie after hearing the words that came out of this girl's mouth. And it looked bad for Disney's Snow White when you saw the box office projections. Well, it's only getting worse. Rachel Zegler's Snow White now tracking for a $53 million box office opening. Disney's live-action update stars Zegler as the iconic princess, while Gal Gadot plays the evil queen. And by the way, everyone is rooting for the evil queen. Queen, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Mirror, you are my queen. Movie's over. For the first time, I'm feeling more inclined towards villain than hero. Gal Gadot, obviously, the fairest. I hope the prince ends up with the queen. Yes, everyone is rooting for Gal Gadot, except maybe Rachel Zegler. Disney's Snow White live-action remake starring Rachel Zegler as the iconic princess is tracking to open to $53 million, according to a leading Hollywood research firm. Now, what's interesting about that is that this is actually down from what we had been hearing in previous weeks. Disney's Snow White box office predictions plunge even lower as House of Mouse braces for looming Rachel Zegler financial disaster. Just when it seemed the box office outlook couldn't get any worse, new projections indicate the film is set to open even lower than initially expected. This is a significant drop from earlier forecasts, which had projected $63 to $70 million debut. Now, right now, the range they think is between 48 and 58 million. I will point this out. Over at Box Office Pro, they still have that first projection, $60 to $75 million. But to put this in perspective for everyone, I think one of the obvious comparisons we have here would be the Black Little Mermaid that Disney put out 2 years ago in 2023, a movie that similarly was met with a lot of backlash. I don't think the backlash was as prolonged or as sustained as the backlash towards Rachel Zegler's Snow White. But this movie went on to make about $570 million at the box office. They tried to make it seem like an opening weekend success. They tried to make it seem like this movie was a success, but it was not. Ultimately, this movie lost money for them because, oh, guess what? Disney once again lied about their budget. As it turns out, it cost them around $300 million for live-action Little Mermaid. They lost money on it. And what do we know about Disney's Snow White? That just through, because right now, all the trades are reporting the same bullshit they reported for something like Captain America Brave New World when they said it's only $180 million. The trades said that this budget is around $200 million for Snow White. Well, just think about that for a second, because we know that they had spent $270 million on Snow White just by the end of 2023. So we know that even saying that it's $200 million is a fucking lie. But this is old. This is before reshoots. This is before some post-production. This movie easily is going to cost them, just like Black Little Mermaid, over $300 million. And right now it's projected to open at, if the low end of those projections are right, that would be opening at about half of Little Mermaid remake. I mean, it just continues to get worse for this movie, despite any type of PR spin that they're now trying to have Rachel Zegler put on everything. Just months removed from calling out fans for being assholes and that they're toxic and how dare you and I don't want you coming to my movie if you voted for Trump. Just months removed from that, she's now saying, well, I just see the backlash as people's passion for the character. It is too little too late for all of that bullshit spin. Because we know your true feelings. We know that's not how you actually feel. We know that this drives you crazy, that so many people hate this fucking movie before it's even come out. And if this does come out and track similarly to what something like Little Mermaid came out, a movie with backlash, a movie that people had questions about, if it opens like this, you're talking about an embarrassing disaster for Disney, one that they've seen coming. They knew it was here. They've seen the comments. They've seen the ratios. They've seen the backlash. That's why they tried to spin. But people don't buy the bullshit PR spin job, clearly as evidenced by even the tracking for this movie continuing to plunge.